Chapter 3 Contest. The Kuromorimine girls' tank drove carefully down the path ahead of them. Of the BC Freedom arsenal, they had chosen a Panzer V. "What if we lose this match? There's no way they'll take us seriously," began Elise. "Then we mustn't fail," cheered Lisa, pretending enthusiasm. "Lisa's right. We'll take them on one at a time. Our Panther will crush these little Frenchies' tankettes," laughed Elena. "Oh, oui, give me baguettes," mocked Lisa. The girls laughed, then proceeded onward. "First tank coming up. Looks like you were right, Elena. It's just a light cavalry tank," said Elise. "Smoke them," yelled Elena. Elise loaded a round into the breech, allowing for Lisa to fire into the AMR. Without fail, the AMR-35 was taken down easily with a flop, followed by its flag popping up. "They took the bait. Prepare to move out," called the team from within the knocked-out AMR. "What idiots coming at us like that?" jeered Lisa. "Right. Sierra, Bravo, move out," yelled Oshida into her radio. Two sets of tanks leaped from the bushes and flanked the Kuromorimine girls on either side. "Scheiße! It was a trap!" exclaimed Elena. "Run those things off the road!" yelled Lisa. Elena revved the engine and began turning the tank towards the two on her right. All four tanks on her side began shooting at the Panther, peppering the armor of it. Lisa tried rotating the turret to sit over the two tanks on the left, but they stayed too close to the body, and while she could sit the barrel over them, she could not get a shot off onto them. "We've got her distracted, Commander. Now's your chance," said the commander of the foremost AMR. Oshida's ARL pushed out from cover and aimed its long barrel in the direction of the Panther, firing at its flank but missing. "You're too close, I can't get a good shot," yelled Oshida. "Try aiming for the rear of it," responded the AMR commander. "Look, a bridge," shouted Elena. "Looks pretty narrow. Maybe we can shake them off there." "Good. Head straight for it. Full speed," smiled Elise. "They're headed for the bridge. Pull back," yelled Oshida from where she was tracking the group. "Keep heading for the bridge?" asked one of the tank drivers. No, stop," yelled Oshida. The tanks flanking tried to keep on the Panther's side, but on reaching the bridge and applying their brakes to make a sudden stop, 3 of them fell over the cliff and landed on the Samoas waiting in the gulch below, causing them to be eliminated. "What the hell?" yelled Andou. "Why are you knocking our tanks out?" "It's not my fault they didn't hear me," yelled back Oshida. The Panther turned its turret to the last tank standing on the ridge and fired, knocking that tank out as well. "As expected, Oshida, I have to clean up after you," growled Andou as her tank and a couple of Sherman tanks began moving towards the inbound Panther. "The coast is clear. Looks like we made it past them," cheered Elise. "Not so fast," gasped Elena. Andou's Samoa jumped out from the hill, standing between the Panther and the sound wall, and fired its gun, landing a shot straight into the side of the hull of the tank. The Panther's engine sputtered for a moment as a loud sound of gears grinding filled the hole before at last the tank's flag jumped up from atop. "Finished!" cheered Andou as her tank landed ungracefully. "What kind of Panther is this to be knocked out so easily?" cried Elise. Marie's FT-17 rolled up beside the Panther, and upon seeing Marie's approach, Andou straightened herself to look more presentable for a commander. "Marie!" "At ease, Andou," replied Marie. Oshida followed shortly after Marie and parked her tank as the 3 Kuromorimine girls exited theirs. "Looks like you got us," muttered Elena. "Yes, we did. But you did well for your disadvantage. Only 3 girls in a tank with a crew of 5? At least 4 should have been there, since we don't really use the small arms too much. Not to mention, it was only 1 tank of yours versus all of ours. So, with all of that in consideration, I look forward to placing you 3 on our team," stated Marie. "What?" exclaimed Andou. "You're not really thinking of placing them with us, are you?" "Why not?" asked Marie. "We creamed them. It's not our fault, mine specifically, that Oshida's so bad that even these chumps can beat her. My team was on the ball," shouted Andou. "Andou, mind your tongue with Marie." "Oh, like you mind yours, you boot-licking, ass-kissing—" "Enough!" shouted Marie. "I made my choice. It's final, Andou. Andou glared for a moment before responding. Yeah? We'll see. She turned and kicked her tank before leaving the field without another word. Andou sulked as she walked home by herself again. Andou! Shouted somebody from behind her. She turned to see Fontaine chasing after her once again. Hey, kid, mumbled Andou. I'm not a kid, so why do you keep calling me one? Shouted Fontaine. And what's wrong? Are you still mad about Marie's decision? To hell with them! Yelled Andou. What's wrong? Asked Fontaine. They never listen to me. I've had enough of this. I'm done with Sensha-dō. You're kidding. You can't be, said Fontaine as she grabbed onto Andou. I can and I will, replied Andou, pulling her arm away. But you can't. I need you on our team, replied Fontaine. Huh? Gasped Andou. You're my role model. I look up to you, Andou. I want to be just like you when I grow up. Andou laughed to herself. When she grows up. She's 14. The kid can drive a tank. Andou thought to herself. But then again, Andou was 18. 4 years? Was that really enough to grow up? Andou did grow a lot in those 4 years. At least, sort of. She was still a bit of a hothead. No doubt about that. But there was also no doubt in Andou's mind that Fontaine was indeed a kid, and it was thus Andou's job, as her upperclassman, to be a moral model student for Fontaine. She couldn't be acting out in front of her like this. Well, fine, kid. For you, I'll give it another go. But if those Escalator girls spit on me one more time, they won't. They couldn't bear to lose someone as cool as you, replied Fontaine.